What if the prayer that ruined your life was finally answered tomorrow, and you never said thank you? Not because you didn't care, but because you were too busy trying to reclaim the years suffering took from you. This is a story most people think they understand, but the reason one man didn't come back is closer to your own life than you might want to admit. Before the sickness, he had a name. He had work that depended on strength, hands that earned food, a body people relied on. Then things began to change. At first it was subtle. Fatigue that didn't leave. Pain that arrived too early and stayed too long. People noticed but said nothing. And slowly distance grew. Not overnight. Not dramatically. Just enough that one day, he realized he was alone more often than not. Eventually, his world became small enough to survive in. Outside the city, away from crowds, away from accidental touches. Days stopped having names. They became measurements of endurance. Pain in the morning, relief in the afternoon, fear at night. Prayer didn't disappear. It just changed. It wasn't hopeful. It was repetitive. Not "I believe you can." More like "I don't know what else to do." When nothing changes for long enough, hope starts feeling irresponsible. Then stories began to reach him. A man traveling from place to place. Someone who touched people no one else would. At first he ignored them. Hope is dangerous when disappointment has become familiar. But the stories kept coming, and they all sounded the same. So when he heard the man was nearby, he did what sickness had trained him to do. He called out, not confidently, not eloquently, urgently. The man didn't approach him. There was no touch, no long conversation, just a command. And then, his body responded. Pain released its grip. Strength returned to places that had forgotten it. Years of waiting collapsed into seconds. Shock arrived before joy. Because when suffering ends suddenly, your mind lags behind your body. He didn't fall to the ground. He moved. Because the first thought wasn't worship. It was home. Would the door open? Would people look at him differently now? Would the life he lost still accept him? He needed proof that the healing was real. Gratitude requires stillness. But he had been still for years against his will. Now every instinct told him to move while he could. If stories like this help you think more honestly about faith, this channel is where I share them. Later a question was asked. Weren't there 10? Not loudly, not angrily, just spoken into the air. The question didn't chase anyone down. It didn't demand answers. It simply lingered. The man who didn't return was never confronted. The healing remained, which means the miracle was never conditional. Gratitude wasn't required to receive it. It was something else, something revealed only after. The need was gone. Most people pray hardest in crisis, in hospitals, in financial fear, in moments when life narrows. Promises are made there. And when life stabilizes, movement returns, work resumes, noise returns, attention shifts. Not because people forget on purpose, but because relief is loud and reflection is quiet. So here's what remains. If everything you're asking for right now was answered tomorrow, would gratitude still find you once life felt normal again? Or only the next time everything stopped working?